Well, that's what I was telling Terry, because I had my hair printed at 4:30, and I totally forgot about it until I got a reminder on Saturday. It was like, it's gonna be late.
Check on your.
All right, I do have 4 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and call the town council meeting of May 12th, 2025 to order. And the first part of the meeting would be the invocation and the pledge.
Will you join me in prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and thank you, Lord, for all the rain that you have given us. And Father, as we continue to go through each and every day, we just ask that you please continue to be with us. Grant us wisdom and guidance as we make decisions for our wonderful town. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Terry, want to do the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do have a couple proclamations, but Mary Slade's on her way, so we'll wait until she gets here for the proclamations. So we'll go ahead and do the approval of last month's minutes. Everyone should have received a copy.
I move to approve the April 14th, 2025 minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. So we will go ahead and move to the treasurer's report. Sharon.
Good afternoon. So for item number A on the treasurer's report, which is a copy of the financial statements, nothing really to note on here as of yet. We have 2 more months left before we'll have year end. I still think we're going to have a positive end result for when we close out the books. So that's encouraging as we go forward for that. Did anybody have any questions on the statements at all? The next item under Treasurer's Report, item number B, is for a budget amendment. And I'll just go ahead and just read the content of the budget adjustment. It's for budget adjustment 2025-0005 to increase office supplies in account 10.11.5255 in the amount of $4,300 even. The approved fiscal year 2025 budget under capital outlay for general government included line items for 2 new computer workstation upgrades and an office laptop. The 2 new workstations were purchased and the costs were included in the budget amendment for the build-out of the 2nd floor of Town Hall. The town currently has an office laptop that is still in good working condition. Since these items have either been accounted for in the budget under different general ledger codes and are not needed at this time, staff would like to transfer the budget from these line items in capital outlay, which is 10.11.54205, to office supplies 10.11.52055 to cover additional office supplies that might be needed through year end June 30th, 2025. And there is a copy in here of the capital outlay request along with a copy of the budget amendment.
So really not increasing the budget, it's just moving of one area to another.
Correct.
Any comments, questions?
And this was for, was it 2 desktops and 1 laptop? Am I reading that right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, I move to approve budget amendment BA 2025-0005 in the amount of $4,300.
I'll second.
Motion and second, further discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Next item, item number C, is the award of the RFP of the independent auditing services. And then I'll just go right into the memo. Background, the purpose of this contract is to establish a unit price contract with a certified public accounting firm or individual to provide the audit of the Commissioners of Leonardtown financial statements and for the single audit when applicable. This is a one-year contract with the option to renew for 4 additional one-year terms. The previous contract was awarded to BBD, which is now with them, in May 2019. Discussion, 2 proposals were received by the due date, April 25th, 2025 by 10 a.m. and disseminated to the evaluation committee consisting of myself, Sharon Strand, Beth Sandberg, Jackie Post, and Angie Graves, see attachment A. The proposals were thoroughly reviewed and evaluated on the basis of responsiveness to the request for proposal, demonstrating the firm understanding of an approach to the work required, past experience performing relevant services, qualifications of company and staff members, and adequacy of personnel of the firm to accomplish the proposed scope of work and price. After review and careful consideration of the technical and price proposals, SB & Company LLC received the highest evaluation proposal and was determined to be the most responsive offerer for this service based on their experience and past record. Fiscal impact. Funding for the contract is available in the budget under Accounting Services 10.11.52020. So we would not have to increase the budget going forward. There's nothing there to cover it.
Awesome.
Conclusion recommendation. In accordance with section 6-101 of the Code of Public Laws, it is recommended that the mayor and council approve staff's recommended findings in attachment A and award the unit price contract to the highest evaluated proposer, SB & Company LLC of Owens, Maryland, for the audit of the Commissioners of Leonardtown financial statements in the amount of $23,700 and for the single audit, if applicable, of $4,000.
Any comments, questions?
So Michelle or Sharon, every year will this have to come to us for
It'll have
those
extensions.
options?
It has extensions.
Okay, so we'll just automatically, okay. Thank you.
And it's for 5 years, did you say that already?
I think it's 1 and then base, right, and 4?
It's 1 and then 4.
Yeah, so 5.
4 option years.
Yep.
Awesome. And then if for some reason we have issues, we don't have to renew. And
Right.
And then you would just bring it back.
Yep.
Any other comments, questions?
Do we know if anyone local uses this company now that hasn't?
Yes, so St. Mary's County does, Calvert County does.
Okay.
So they have many municipal and counties through
Okay.
southern Maryland.
That's good to know. Thank you.
And Mary, just so you know, we're on Treasurer's Report number C, or letter C. Award the RFP for independent auditing services.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion, comments, questions?
All right, I move to award the contract for audit services to SB & Company LLC, Owens, Maryland, for the Commissioners of Leonardtown financial statements in the amount of $23,700 and for the single audit in the amount of $4,000, SB & Company for the highest evaluated proposer.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second, further discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
The last item I have is, as we brought up during the fiscal year 2026 budget, we have a utility upgrade, system upgrade in that one. So as we were going through and looking at our processes and some of just preliminary information for the upgrade, this has to do with the upgrade also. And this was brought to our attention by our current company that will be upgrading us to the cloud. So I'll just go ahead and read them out. Background. The council approved in the fiscal year 2026 budget the upgrading of utility billing software to the cloud-based version for the enterprise fund. Discussion. The town's current system allows customers to pay by cash, check, credit card, bank electronic checks, and e-checks. The upgrade will provide another option for payment, direct debit, and that allows us to, if they sign up for it, which I think I noted last time we already had 40 customers signed up for it, what will happen is the month before the bill is done, or due, we will send a draft file to the bank, and they will make sure that the routing number and the bank account number is correct. And then 3 to 5 days before the bill is actually due, we'll send a final notice to the bank, and they'll automatically draft this money out of their account and into our account. So the customer really doesn't have to do anything except sign up for it. So that's what the direct debit from the customer's bank account. Currently, the town absorbs the processing fees for credit cards, bank electronic checks, and e-checks. The chart shows over the past 4 years how it's grown from $10,000 we absorbed in 22, 13.5 in fiscal year 23, just over 15 in 24, and now we're almost to 17,000 in 25. And I just noted here that the enterprise fund, as an accounting term and for the GFOA, is described as a self-supporting fund. It sells goods and services to the public for a fee. And this type of fund is to manage the financial activities of these services and operate similar to a business. So the user fees are charged to recover the costs associated with running the water and sewer and to cover the trash contract. Conclusion recommendation. Staff is requesting the council consider pushing these fees to the customers that utilize these services. So right now, we're not looking to get this part of the upgrade operational until September. So it won't be part of this June 30th bill that we send out in early July. We're hoping to get it set up by the end of September so we can, when the bills go out in early October and they're due the end of October, we'll be able to draft that October payment. That's our goal right now. But we have to wait on the implementation process from our current vendor to make sure that it'll flow at the same time, in that timetable.
So currently, all of our people paying utility bills are absorbing that extra charge. This will actually go to the people that are using it that way.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
And before, we didn't offer that service, so that's why we absorbed the cost.
Mhm.
But now that they have the option of the automatic draft.
So people that pay cash, check, or the ACH won't pay this. It'll just be credit cards, bank cards, and
E-checks.
e-checks. Got it.
Yep.
So they have options.
Yeah.
Yes, there's many options.
Yeah.
Mhm. Correct. And they'll also, with the new upgrade, be able to do recurring credit card payments. If somebody just wanted to put their credit card on file, I don't know how it works, we need to make sure that none of the credit card information is safe and protected and all of that, but they'll be able to put it on there and just, and have it charged each quarter,
Nice.
which a lot of customers have asked for. So,
Yeah, that'll be nice.
yeah.
Well, it's hard to remember once a quarter. Once a
Right.
month, it's, it.
Yeah.
I'm like, where am I in the quarter? I don't know.
In which order?
Yeah,
Right.
in which quarter? I know.
Okay, any other comments?
How much is
questions?
the fee? Is it like 3%?
I don't know off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can get that information for you. And then, debit cards are different from credit cards.
Okay.
And, e-checks are less, it's just like a service fee, like a $1 or $2 on the e-check, where the credit cards are a percentage.
It usually depends on what type of credit card you're using. So if it's a points credit card or if it's a rewards credit card. So if you get miles, it's going to have a different. It all depends on what the customer's kind of credit card they have. So you can't really say it across the board. I mean, it's generally like 3%, I think.
Right, and I don't know yet, because we haven't delved into that, whether, because we normally are just they're paying us a flat fee, or we're paying just a flat fee, not based on the type of credit card. So I don't know when we move into that, if they'll base it to the customer on a specific type of credit card. Like
Right.
you said, you know, Discover, American Express, Visa, MasterCard are
Right.
different, along with the debit card. And if you're doing miles, you know, et cetera. So I haven't received that information yet, so.
But whatever account the customer is using, they'll know what that is.
Yes, as soon as they go on our portal, it'll tell them what the fee is.
What the fee is, yeah.
Yes.
And the IRS does it, and state of Maryland does it too. I mean,
Mhm.
they don't need the fees. If you want to pay your taxes via credit card, you have to pay the fees.
Correct, yeah,
And we'll communicate this to everybody, yeah.
exactly.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I do like how there's options, so
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
good. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, questions?
Nope, I move to approve the transfer of user fees associated with credit card, bank check, and e-check fees to the utility customers.
I'll second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move back now to our proclamations. So we've got a proclamation for Tommy Mattingly Jr. Would you like to come up and everyone come out? Is that the proclamation, Joe?
How are you? Good to see you again. Congratulations, Matney. Good to see you. Nice seeing you again. Here we go. Right in the middle there.
So, Town of Leonardtown does have a proclamation for Thomas Mattingly Jr., recognizing incoming president for 2025 to 2026 for the Southern Maryland Volunteer Firemen's Association. Whereas Tommy Mattingly began serving the residents of Leonardtown and the surrounding communities as a volunteer firefighter in 1984 as a member of the Leonardtown Volunteer Fire Department. During Tommy's over 30 years of extreme exemplary service, he has demonstrated the high standards of ethics and values. And whereas fire service is a noble calling, one which is founded on mutual respect and trust between firefighters and the citizens they serve, and Tommy Mattingly has been awarded a high honor to be named as incoming president of the Southern Maryland Volunteer Firemen's Association for 2025 to 2026. And whereas we recognize and commend the efforts of Tommy Mattingly, who has dedicated his life to the fire service and the protection of life and property from loss by fire and other emergency situations, and as president of the SMVFA, shares a responsibility to oversee the education and directives of this invaluable association to our community and its citizens. And whereas Tommy's allegiance, commitment, and volunteerism are shining examples of his integrity and example to his fellow fire service compatriots, family, friends, and community. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Commissioners of Leonardtown invite the community to honor Tommy Mattingly Jr. on his installation as president of our appreciation for his professionalism in taking on this important role. Signed this date, May 12, 2025, Mayor and Town Council. Sir, thank you very much.
You gotta go.
There's a bunch of them over there already. Thank you all for all the help that you gave us during the convention and parade. I mean, that was, I was blown away with it. The support in town was crazy. I never imagined that many people lining the streets, and they were all over the place.
Sorry I couldn't make the
Totally understand.
presentation, but was there for the parade.
Right, thank you very much for being there. So, I think we had something else we were gonna do.
I was gonna say, we've got one more
Darius,
presentation.
if you could step up front here, please.
Oh, Aries. I didn't know you. Where's your phone? Okay.
Right in the center. So as you know, I was the chairman of the Southern Maryland Convention. I worked with the areas not only for the convention, but also during the tree lighting and all that. She's just a joy to work with. So I did have some questions with this whole parade thing, and she was like, yeah, you need to do this, 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 and this. And I was like, okay. And she calls me 2 hours later. She says, I took care of that. So this, thank you for all your help. You're the best. So we also have some
Oh,
flowers going.
Thank you.
And
That's amazing. Thank you.
You're the best.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much. Again, thank you all.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Always.
Okay, that was very nice. That was great for Tommy to step up and do that for all of Southern Maryland. Okay, we'll move on to Mike Bailey, Planning Department, please.
Members, Mayor, the Planning Commission had a meeting in April, and we had 2 items on the agenda. One was the extension of 12 months for the Senior Living Center at the intersection of Route 4 and St. Andrews Church Road to extend their permit 1 more year. Permits are only good for 2 years. They've shown a little bit of progress out there. They demoed some buildings, cleaned that up, and so the Planning Commission granted them a year extension. The second item on the agenda was the Leonardtown Apartments, which is at the end of Courthouse Drive on the west side at Fenwick intersection, and they were granted concept approval to move forward with their design. And then this coming month, we have 2, I'm going to call it 2 items. We have the Sheriff's Evidence Storage Facility over in the Governmental Center Complex, which is bringing forward their final design, and they've received approvals from Soil Conservation, Public Works. We're anticipating approval from the State Fire Marshal. There was only 4 minor comments that they had to address, and then also State Highway. So we're going to move that project forward, and then also we have a couple ordinance changes. One, hopefully the Planning Commission recommends to you all a change to Chapter 155, our zoning ordinance, to address some issues there, lack of definitions, etc., which I'm assuming you'll be talking about today as well. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Corporal Rozelle's not with us today, but we do have a copy of her report. Yeah, I've noticed that there's been a lot of traffic vehicle stops out on Route 5, and also down on Fenwick Street where, you know, we put the marker up that's 25 miles per hour, and got the thing down there, so hopefully that slows people down in there. But do want to also mention that it's National Police Week, so thank you to all the police departments, men and women out there. Thank them for everything they do. Any other comments, questions?
I saw the new signs at the crosswalks. Were there?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Can we get one down by the church, down by St. Aloysius, just down at that crosswalk?
Oh, okay. I have one more.
You have one more?
Because I know we've got one extra one, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, it's great. I know everybody's worried about walking and getting hit, so.
I have mirrors also for Park Avenue, so hopefully they should go as soon as Tony gets back. So.
Perfect, thank you.
So
One thing, actually, I did have dinner at Sweet Bay the other night, and Peter mentioned that somebody almost got hit. Actually did get hit with somebody going out the wrong way.
Right, and so Tony's been
Yeah.
sitting there in the morning with his lights, and so he stopped a number of people early in the morning, and Rachel's gonna try to sit out there. We added do not enter signs that are on the road.
Yeah, I saw
What
that.
else?
I saw that.
I mean, I don't know what else to do to get people
Yeah.
not to do that, but at least the mirrors, we got one for each side, so the pedestrian will be able to see if a car is coming, and the cars will be able to see if a
That's
pedestrian is coming. When that shade is closed, it's really hard to
It
see
is.
somebody coming across there.
Yes.
Plus, we added the signs that Mary was just talking about, so
I
I
know.
don't know what else to do.
Yeah, thank you.
People just ignore it.
They don't
I know.
see their-
Well, the walkers do
I
have
know,
to.
that's what we're talking
Peter
about.
did suggest the strips too,
Yeah.
that you go the wrong way,
I know.
you lose your tires, so. Maybe a way to stop
And
it.
I mean, as a walker, you know, we do try to pay attention, but,
Yeah.
you know, so, everybody's kind of in
Oh,
lanes.
there's something to walk out. yeah.
Right.
Scary. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you. All right, Michelle, we'll go ahead and move on to your report.
Okay, the first item on my report is to award the lawn care contract. Been working through a lot of rebidding of contracts. The lawn care contract was publicly bid and one bid was received. The contract was advertised in the County Times on March 13th and March 20th, as well as it's been on the town website. Woodlawn Lawn Care submitted the sole bid. It's a 3-year contract with 2 one-year options, and they've had the contract for the last 25 plus years. He does a fantastic job, donates a lot of extra services. As of April 30th in this fiscal year, we've paid $201,746. The first year on the new contract is $197,613. We had gotten to the point where the base bid, we've added streets and roads and parks and different things that need to be done with the lawn care, so it's kind of been nickel and diamond on the contract. So this now will kind of reset to, as of today's date, everything that is included in the contract. Any questions?
Did we have anybody ask any questions or?
No one came to the pre-bid. Last time we bid it was 2017. We had one other person that came. It was like a father and son, and they just couldn't handle
Yeah.
the contract. But I mean, that's the only interest we've had. It's a lot. I mean,
It is.
every day in town doing something pretty much. And the way the schedule's set up, some things are done once a month, twice a month, weekly. So it depends on the area. But I think it's just a lot for a lot of the contractors.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've done a nice job.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah, Woodlawn always has really done a great job for us, and they go above and beyond.
Yeah,
So
they
town,
give
everything
us
looks
a
great.
lot of extras.
Yeah, really looks nice.
Any other comments, questions?
I move to award the lawn maintenance contract to Woodlawn Lawn Care Services for a 3-year period with 2 one-year options at the bid prices starting year 1 at $197,613, year 2, $207,493, and year 3, $217,868.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Further comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Next item is, I'm pleased that we got a bid actually under what I had estimated, so that was good. For the well number 6 being constructed at, where the water tower is being constructed at Meadows at Town Run 2. The well will be drilled right beside that in the enclosure. It was publicly bid and 1 bid was received. We did have 3 companies attend the pre-bid meeting, but 2 of them didn't end up bidding. GHD advertised the project for bid and it was on the town website. The project is less than the $2,525,000 that I had originally budgeted, and including engineer and inspection fees that we've already approved, the total project will be $1,700,660, and the bid came in at $1,558,160. And AC Schultes was the bidder, and they've been doing, from what GHD said, most of the wells around.
I'm glad that came in a little lower. That was good.
I was sweating.
So, very good.
Yeah, the market is crazy.
Since the water tower came so far over, I was really worried. Any questions?
Anyone care to make a motion?
I'll
I-
make it.
okay.
Oh, sorry, Mary. I move to award the contract for the production well number 6 to AC Schultz of Maryland, Inc. in the amount of $1,558,160.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Do we know if we talked to them about when we would issue a TP for that, when they start?
No, not yet.
Gotcha.
I mean, they've been in contact with me to see if anybody else did and wanted to know when it would be awarded, so I think they're ready to get started right
Awesome.
away.
Great.
Janine is going to take the next two items.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. For ordinance number 229, starting Chapter 78 floodplain, tonight we are introducing the proposed ordinance for the Town Council. We prepared the required floodplain management regulations in accordance with the standards of 44 CFR Part 60.3D of the NFIP regulations, which is the National Flood Insurance Program. FEMA had completed a study and required the town to update certain regulations to ensure compliance with the most recent state regulations. So I do have a summary of changes. They're very basic changes, such as revising certain dates, adding language for square footage, adding non-tidal waters of the state, adding the word "and," adding basement floors that are below grade on all sides prohibited to a couple of areas, and then revising the effective date. So with that, it is required by the state to update these regulations. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have tonight for the introduction, and this will be coming back in June for the final adoption.
So was it reviewed by FEMA, and FEMA gave us the comments, and we're
Correct.
easy?
Under, so there is a couple of documents in the packet where they go through the code, there's a checklist, and they kind of note where there are
Gotcha.
deficiencies in the town's code versus the state COMAR.
So these are all required by the National Flood Insurance Program.
Correct.
So once they're approved, do they go back to them for like a final approval, or
No,
they just assume it's taken care of? And
Yeah, we coordinate all down, Mike does a lot of coordination with FEMA.
Got it.
So it'll be once it's adopted, we'll send that to them.
got it. Great.
So FEMA has actually revised quite a few, well, for the town, it's one map. And these revisions also go along with the revisions to those maps.
Got it.
And from a flood insurance standpoint, this is all required. So this is just an introduction. It'll be
We'll have a public hearing next
public
month.
hearing next month. So. Any other comments, questions then? Okay, moving on.
Alright, the next item on the agenda is ordinance number 230, which is chapter 155 zoning update. So for the zoning chapter, and this one has a little bit more as far as the proposed revisions are concerned. So I'll go through this one in a little bit more detail. So for the zoning chapter, there were a few things that we noted in our comprehensive plan that needed to get updated within the zoning code. We are proposing to do a comprehensive rewrite of the zoning code, but at the current time, while since we just got a comprehensive plan adopted and we know that we're going to have some projects coming forward, there were a couple of primary changes that we wanted to make sure that everything was going to move forward as needed. So there were several definitions that were updated. I won't go through all of them because it's pretty much an overall rewrite of the definition sections. Based on the red line draft and that you had received previously and the changes that the town attorney had provided, there were only a couple of definitions that were revised slightly to comply with state definitions. So that was for microbrewery and certain facilities such as those that have specific state requirements as for licensing. So those, a couple of those were updated, but otherwise there were no significant changes by the town attorney. So the definitions go through pages 2 through 24. The major change that took place was creating a separate use category for townhomes, which is also known as a single-family dwelling attached. The definition was added to page 7, line 280, and then we've made some changes throughout the different sections. For the residential single-family district, it was added as a separate use. We removed townhouses from the consideration of multifamily units since they are now separate uses. And we added townhomes as a permitted use to the commercial highway district on page 52. Now for single-family dwelling attached or townhomes, we did quite a bit of research and it shows that across the board, pretty much all jurisdictions, counties have townhomes as a separate use. So you have your single-family detached, single-family attached, duplexes, multifamily. Those are kind of your base standards. There are additional changes that will need to be made as far as the different types of uses, duplexes. But as I said, we're going to do a comprehensive review and rewrite. So any of those minor issues that may be identified will be corrected. So for right now, we're really trying to get the definitions updated and townhomes in as a separate use, so that way we can proceed forward with any developments in that regard. And from that, we will have a public hearing next month in June, and then a final adoption after that. Oh, Planning Commission is going to review it next week, thank you. At their May 19th meeting, and they will provide a recommendation to the council, and you can take that recommendation as applicable. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any specifics on the actual changes.
So you said townhomes were added to commercial highway. Is single family already in there?
Yes.
Okay.
But the main reason why it was added is because it was under, previously it was considered under multifamily units.
Right.
And so we wanted to make sure that that was separated out since they all came in.
Yeah, I agree. Just wanted to make sure.
And also, as we talked about in the comp plan discussion, you know, the state is really moving toward requiring certain amounts of affordable housing and workforce housing, and I think this is really the way. I even heard the presentation from the county that they're really seeing a lot more townhomes. It's just a little bit more affordable, but I think it's going to go a long way to meeting the comments that we've received on our comp plan for the housing element.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Thank you very much.
All right, and then the next item is another introduction of the ordinance. Now that the expansion of the wastewater treatment plant is substantially complete, we are introducing ordinance number 231 to repeal ordinance number 132, which was passed in 2008 when we needed to ration the remaining EDUs prior to the expansion. We're at a place now that we need to get projects moving through the pipeline. We'll have a public hearing next month on this ordinance, so this is just for introduction. Any questions? Finally here.
And that's, the old one was the one where it had to be like within the downtown
Yes,
or
there's a copy.
meet like 3 or 4 different
Yeah, there's a
categories.
copy of it in your packet. It had to
Got
meet
it.
one of the criteria,
Yeah.
which was
Under 2.
Leonard's grant was under development at the time, and so we had already allocated for that. It had to be an infill project or a project that the council deemed by a majority vote that it was to protect the health, welfare, and safety of the community, and then for public projects within municipal boundaries. So very specific, and then they would have to be added to a list once the plant was done. So at this time, I'm comfortable that we can move forward with this and repeal that. So next month, we will have a public hearing on that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Again, that was just introductions.
Yes. And then final is Main Street report. Do you have anything, Jennifer?
Good afternoon. I just have one thing to add. The Trend Thrift Store is having their 1-year anniversary, June 6th through the 8th. So they'll celebrate all weekend, and I will host the ribbon cutting June 6th at 1. So I hope you guys can attend. She's working on a flyer, and then I'll send everything out.
Thank you.
And I didn't have anything else to add to the report. Please let me know if you have any questions.
What day is June 6th?
Friday.
Oh, good. Fridays are good.
Guess I could have probably figured that out. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else for you?
No, I
Michelle?
think that's
Okay.
everything.
Moving on to my report, we do have the LBA
Yes.
member here. Christy, always hiding behind there. I can't really see you.
The LBA is just gearing up for all of the events that we have coming up. The most noteworthy one coming up next is June 7th, the Hometown Heroes event, and Robbie Booth is coming into town for that. The square will be closed. It's going to be a big event. So we're really looking forward to that, and that's just the start of everything. We will do the fireworks again this year, and we're planning all the way up until Christmas with gingerbread men. So I don't know if you've heard about that.
I did. I'm excited.
That sounds
That's going to be fun.
I'm excited too. It's going to be very fun. So, yeah, so lots going on, but the Hometown Heroes event will be the next thing.
We had a lot of members at the meeting on Friday, a few new members, so very good. Yep. Okay. Anything else, Christy?
That's all we have.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and move on to council reports. Heather,
Thank you,
events?
This weekend we have the photo contest. There's a lot of fun categories. I think there's 10 or 12 categories people can compete in. So there's more info out on our Facebook page. The car show is rescheduled for this Sunday, hopefully no rain. And then I know we have the June 7th that Christy mentioned. Also coming up is Leonardtown Has Talent, so if people are interested in participating in that, sounds like it'll be a fun event. So lots going on.
Yep,
So thank you.
thank you. And Nick, community development and planning.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Notable uptick in permits and UNOs coming in, so that is great to see more work is happening. The only other thing I wanted to mention, again, congratulations to Tommy Mattingly Jr. I was able to attend the parade and the banquet. That was a nice ceremony. So Roger, you all did a fantastic job that night, so thank you all for having us. That was a great time.
Great hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's everything for me, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Christy, utilities.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a whole lot to report other than the pump station work has started over at Noli's. That's the Macintosh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was going to say something else. The Macintosh pump station. So just be aware in that area that there's construction going on, and Noli's is still open and everything's.
We're trying to help advertise that.
Yeah, it should be quick. So hopefully.
I'm hoping, but with all the rain that's coming in, I don't know, but they were gonna try to have the crane tomorrow there and all the heavy equipment done so they could cover up that 14-foot hole.
Yeah.
And take down those bigger barricades.
Right,
and put
which are
some-
there for safety and to keep
And
drivers.
the day that it's like going to be 100% chance of rain.
Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be
The
nasty.
next 5 days, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ABNH did get a flashing board to say that no one's
It did say
and we've been doing Facebook posts and trying to help promote it as well.
That was,
Thank you.
Yeah, that was nice. And that's really all I have to report.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you. And Jay, Southern Maryland Municipal Association.
All right, thank you. So I just spent May 2nd and May 3rd in Frederick, Maryland for the Maryland Municipal League Board of Directors meeting and retreat. And the hotel was pretty neat we stayed at. It's called Visitation Hotel. And it was bought by Marriott, but it was an all-girl Catholic school dorm. And they converted it over. So a lot of history there. So the mayor is, Frederick is very happy because that's their first hotel in their downtown. They never had that before. So now they have a hotel downtown. So if you ever go to Frederick, we watched a documentary on Frederick on where they started and where they are now. It was at the Weinberg Theater. So the Weinberg Theater is a very neat historic theater if you go there and visit. And then we had several board sessions, talked about leadership development, member expenses, and all the different groups, and future outlook of MML, where we're going. We talked about all kinds of different goals and where we want to see ourselves in the future. As far as the Southern Maryland Municipal Association, technically we need to have a meeting in May because it's elections, and it needs to be before, I think, May 30th. And Terry, I'm just waiting to hear Terry from Indian Head, because Ron is still the president. I think they're going to have to set the last meeting up to have the elections. I just haven't heard of that date yet. So, and Mary, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Mary, Business Development and Retention.
Thank you, Mayor. Jay, if you work in Frederick, they have the Civil War Medical Mystery Museum. If you've ever been there, it is so cool. And they actually have like walls from Point Lookout up there. Like they have Point Lookout there, like the part of the hospital is actually there, like it's a room in the hospital. And I was there with a bunch of 8th graders, and they have a part where they have like a mummified arm that they found in the field that's up on the wall, and I was like, everybody out of my, oh yes, children, please go look at that. I was like, I want to see the arm, that's so cool. Anyway, so if you want to go, it's really, really neat.
Sounds very awesome.
Chrissy, thank you. I wanted to mention Nolly's as well. You know, people please don't think that they're closed just because they've got the big barriers. Crazy for You has moved over to SIP, so if anybody's looking for that. I wanted to personally thank Donna, Beth, Jackie, and Mike for helping me out. My daughter went and got her driver's license 2 weeks ago, and one of the things the MVA requires is an actual bill with the address on it, not the P.O. box, and so it's like, it's always a fiasco every time, you know, everything with me is a fiasco anyway, but they were great. They helped me get it straight so my daughter could get her license, so stay off the sidewalks, because she's driving, it's a 16-year-old that's out there. And so then I had one funny story I wanted to leave you guys with today. A couple weeks ago, I went up to Annapolis Mall, and I don't shop much out of St. Mary's County, so I went up to the mall. We had one of those like experiences, right, where they put you in the dressing room and they're like bringing clothes to you. And my girlfriend and I are up there, and she comes out. She's got this huge stack of clothes, right? And so she goes up to the register, and they check her out. They're like, "Oh, that's $600." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a lot." And they said, "Oh, would you like a bag for that?" And she said, "You know, no, I'd like to carry it out. Of course, I'd like a bag." And they're like, "Well, that would be 10 cents." I was like, wait a second, hold on. She just spent $600 in your store and you're going to charge her 10 cents for a bag? And she was like, yes, and we're going to wrap it in tissue paper. And I was like, wait a second. Now, you got to remember, I'm the financial person. I'm like, what, how much is the tissue paper? And they're like, oh, no, that's free. I'm like, okay, wait a second. What if we want a box? Oh, the box is free, but we charge you 10 cents for the bag? I said, are you flipping kidding me? What? Okay, fine. She's like, Mary, just get over it. She's like, I'll pay the 10 cents. So she pays the 10 cents. So now I got my little smaller pile. I don't have nearly as much as she does. And they come up and they're like, you know, would you like a bag? And I'm like, I guess. And so they give me a little bag. And I said, I do not want an 8-cent bag. I would like a 10-cent bag. Are you kidding me? Give me the 10-cent bag. So anyway, so I make a big deal about this. It turns out it's a law in Anne Arundel County that they have to charge 10 cents to give me the privilege of carrying my stuff out of the store with the name of the bag with the name of the store on the side of the bag.
I'm stubborn, and I went into JCPenney's, and I came out those doors
carrying everything.
I did it.
Well, I went into Lego, and he was like, "You want? No, I'm going to carry this. Thank you very much. All through the mall, I'm not paying my 10 cents." But I will tell you. Then my girlfriend went over to Shepherd's this weekend, and I said, "How much did they charge you for the bag?" She said, "Nothing," and I got 3 of them. So shop local, so you don't have to pay your 10 cents. So that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. I do see we've got someone here with Method Jim. Did you have anything for us, or?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this is only my second time that I've been here, the first time this year, so I'm trying to learn. We've done some restructuring in the gym, and one of the goals that we have is to try and get much more involved in the community. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. That's kind of why I'm here. I could probably talk for a while on things, but I feel like it's probably better if I just ask the question, how can we be best involved? How can we help the town? The main goal of our gym is just to get everybody as healthy as they can be, out there, active in the town, in the nice weather. Now, the weather's finally nice. So really, I'll just put it out there. I'm not 100% sure how to get involved, and I'd like to be as much as possible.
Well, are you a member of the Luntown Business Association?
Yes.
I'm happy to chime in here.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We haven't done much with it. That's more on my end than anything else. So that's something I've made a point of this year to get better at, and that's why I'm here, like I said.
But, you know, we have flyers downstairs right at the front of the, if you have some flyers you want to leave with us on a regular basis, we'd be glad to.
Okay, I will have some made up and I'll bring them
And we'll
over.
do a little article in our next newsletter that's going to be going out. So if you get with me afterwards, we'll get your contact information and I'll have the person that does the newsletter reach out to you.
That'd be wonderful. I'd love that.
Okay. That goes to all the residents plus different places.
Actually, our one just came out last week, so it's going to be a few months before it goes out, but.
That's perfectly
Not too
fine.
long. Not too
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
She's already working on it.
Okay. Good, no, welcome, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming
welcome.
by. So.
I've worked with Eris a couple of times in the past, and like what just happened here, she's wonderful. Everybody said.
Yeah, she is
Um,
great.
So that's one of the things that she and I have been working on, is actually starting in June, we're going to be doing some Tai Chi classes down at the wharf.
Okay.
So I'll be the one teaching them, and I invite you all to come out and join if you'd like to.
Yeah,
But it's things like that that we're trying to do more of.
Great,
Awesome.
great, thank you. Anything else for the good of the cause? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Thank you.
See ya.
I had it in my car. I grabbed this photo. All right, my hair.
So I guess you're the one to speak to.
My husband, Adam Sharp. I haven't been coming to the LP because I'm here. That's just smart. Review at our most recent one was the second Friday.